Yeah, got my robot. Here you go. My robot attendance is on. My satellite signals is on. DD. Bitch, I'm done. Okay, so Abisai, stay fly. You gotta say fly. You gotta say with more enthusiasm when you have to come to me. Like Abisai, say fly to the sky. Abisai. Da 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 da. Okay, so like yeah, like that. You have to come through and be like da 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 da. If you don't come through like that, I can't have it. I just play. I'm just cracking jokes. Can I have fun? Like damn, like just be battling evil through these moments. Shit, at this point, and I'll be coming through. Ace Boom Coom still representing. That's right, representing my peoples. That's right. With this another story on Choices by Pixelberry Studios. Blaze of Light and Shadow 2. I had to look at myself when I did that because I was like, wait a minute, 2. Oh, look, I just like to use, now I'm hearing people saying you can't be thankful to be blessed to have certain things. It's like, bitch, I'm glad I have 2 hands to represent 2. I don't know what's going on these days. But anyway, I played Blaze of Light and Shadow, not on the channel, but I had played the book 1. And oh my gosh, I really love it. That's why I'm so excited to play book 2 for the channel. So if you're new to my channel, welcome to my antics. Really not antics, but just being myself. Whatever it may be, you might see me come through looking like this. Next minute you'll see me with a do-rag, maybe a mustache. So it's like, bitch, you will get one person, you gonna get a different person, but ain't no Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde, bitch. It's more like I have certain aesthetics. I love aesthetics. I love look. When I see myself and wake up, I'd be like, bitch, who is this? Like, bitch, I don't see nobody like you out here, bitch. If I did, can I get to know you first? Oh, we don't have to do anything else at this point. Like, through the looking glass. Right. After your triumph against the Dreadlord, your adventuring party faces a new foe who's hell-bent on using your blood to conquer the realm of light. Bitch. See what I'm saying? Why is always gotta be somebody blood? Always gotta be about somebody blood saying it's the key to opening some portals. Ugh, like, bitch, bye. Let's go ahead and get this game started. I remember that. I remember that. Right. Yep. I remember this. Everything's coming back to me. My friend, oh yeah. My friend turned evil. I remember that. Oh my gosh. Oh, so it's starting. Okay. Time to get in. I still can't believe it. My sister, the best adventurer in the land. You have to teach me some of these skills of yours so maybe I can fight half as well as you did in that last battle. I can't take all of the credit. It's not like I gathered the Ankh shards and fought the Dreadlord alone. You must have one L too many back at that tavern. It's been years since you took on the Dreadlord. Not that I blame you for wanting one last hurrah before we head out on our next adventure. Yes, of course. I'm glad you're coming with us. You hope it doesn't sound like a question, but you can't remember. You're much further gone than you thought. Of course I am. How could I let you have all the fun? You return to your leisurely stroll. The city banners flap in the breeze. People bow and salute you, recognizing the hero Morella by sight. Remind me, who we're fighting this time? What happened in this last battle? Yeah, I don't recall. I really thought they meant more to you. Though, I suppose you did kill them. Who? Your friends. I gotta say, you really made it poetic. Stabbing Tyrell in the back with his own sword, tossing Mitura into the ocean bound in iron chains, abandoning Mal to a bunch of deadly traps, crushing Threep under your heel, and making Nia watch all of them die before killing her too. Well, damn. The words causes images of your friends, broken and brutalized, to flash across your vision, their tormented cries echoing in your ears. No! That's not... Suddenly, it feels like the ground is falling out from under you as the whole world shifts. You're no longer standing in White Tower, but some dark, ethereal realm. Kay draws a knife from his belt and goes to stab you, and you're barely able to stumble back and avoid getting hit. I won't stand in your shadow not anymore. You look around wildly, only to see the rest of your party materializing from the ether, wreathed in shadow. I don't understand! I'm your friend! Some friend you are anyway. When I got sucked into the Shadow Realm, you left me to be tortured by the Shadow Court. Would a friend do that? And you let them kidnap me so he could use me as a vessel for the Dreadlord. But Why else do you think Aaron was able to deceive you? How couldn't you see he was working for the Shadow Court the whole time? You watched as they all advanced on you, weapons and magic at the ready, menace burning in their eyes. Wait! This can't be real! It's a dream, it's got to be! Ah! Imtura's hands axes cut deep into your shoulder, pain shooting through your arm as she whips it back out. You're very real. Though I doubt you will be for much longer. Get her! Heartbeat pounding in your ears, you run. Your friends give chase, and your breath comes ragged as you spot a hooded figure in the distance. It's time to stop running, Erica. Yeah, her name's Erica with the X, so yeah. In her language, it's professional, it's unique. But before you can reach them, Syrian fire catches you in the back, and you crash roughly to the ground. It's over, Erica. Kay strolls up, and the others follow until they formed a tight circle around you, trapped you inside. Stop! Please! This isn't you! You throw a desperate look at the hooded figure, who speaks calmly, the voice seeming to echo around you. This is your dream, Erica. Only you can control it. You must focus on what you care about, those you love, not as they are now, but as they are meant to be. But who knows when you shall see them again. Miles' dagger flashes out, scratching a tiny stream of blood against your throat. Any last words? You squeeze your eyes shut, searching for a memory of happier times. You know what? Sometimes you have to think about those things, especially it's not every day, you know what I'm saying? You just have to think about those times. You know, if you like literally just lost everything, like you just have to confirm who it was. You look around at the faces of your comrades, of your friends, still twisted with shadow, and recall everything you've been through together. If this is my dream, then I can show them who they are. I can make them remember. Dagger still pressed against your throat. You close your eyes, dredging up the memory of you and Nia finding Mal captured by the Shadow Court. Give it up. Never! The shadows around them flicker as the world rippers, like a stone being dropped in a lake. The bright red dims and Mal's dagger disappears. What the? What are you doing? You recall the smell of moss and dust, light streaming through the cracked roof. Every memory sends another ripple through the air. Taking control. The landscape abruptly shifts, red bleeding into brown to form a stone chamber. The Temple of Ilara? Nia, Mal, this is where we found the first Ankh shard and fought Duke Ethrax, where we became a team. Case's form melts into a bruised and battered version of itself, the way it looked when you found him, tortured by the Shadow Court. This is where you let them take me. No one's being taken today. Looking across the room, you remember the enemies you faced on that day, and a moment later, Duke Ethrax and a Shadow Hound materialized. Cease your interference. You stand no chance against the might of the Shadow Court. What he said? Ethrax, you bastard! You kidnapped me! We can't let them get the shard! The shadows disappear from Nia and Mal as they step between Ethrax and the vault, and you turn to Cade. Are you with me, brother? He blinks at you, surprised, and the shadow around him fades away too, taking his injuries with it. I am. We should. Bring the roof down. Bring the roof down. Because clearly. And how are we going to do that? By knocking over a pillar. I'll keep them distracted. As Mal lashed out of Ethrax and the Hound with his daggers, you and Cade rush over to a pillar, pushing your whole weight into it. Just a little more. I got it. Nia hits a crack in the pillar with her magic, and it topples over, sending pieces of the roof crashing down on top of your enemies. Ethrax lets out an enraged scream as his body and the Shadow Hound dissolve into a fine mist and disappears completely. I can't believe that worked. Yeah, we did it. Not bad, Kit. Not bad. Not Kit. Mal claps you on the shoulder, but out of the corner of your eye, you see Immatura stalking towards you, shadow still whirling off her. You can't distract me from our goal! Immatura, remember how we first met? You were boarding our ship when a group of Groptars attacked. As you focus, the scenery dissolves so you're on a ship. Groptars surrounding you, Immatura snarls, the shadows disappearing as she draws her axes. Not these bottom feeders again! The Groptars rush at Immatura, and while she's able to slash a couple across the chest, leaving them bleeding, they quickly overwhelm her. I'll keep the more from boarding. Go help her! As you take off, Mal hurls a dagger right into the forehead of a Groptar, trying to climb up the side of the ship. I'm coming, Immatura! I'll fire a cannon at him. Fire a cannon at him. I have to take the heaviest attacks, okay? You wheel one of the cannons back so you can aim it at the group of Groptars swarming your friend and light the fuse. Hit the deck! What are you? Oh, Immatura throws herself to the ground just as the cannon goes off. The Groptars go flying as the cannonball crashes through them. As the last of the Groptars falls overboard, Nia rushes over, laying a glowing hand over one of Immatura's wounds and quickly healing it. Good as new. What's next, land rat? You turn your gaze on Tyrell and Threep, who watch you with malice in their eyes, still consumed by shadow. Those two were far stronger than the rest of you. Not even a promise of snacks will sway us. Shit. But you got to solve this puzzle before we get crushed. See, I'm struggling again. But you got to solve this puzzle before we get crushed. It's just like the one in the Undermount catacombs. The ship and the sea melt away to form a cavern with a massive door. Various symbols painted on it. Then everything around you gives a violent shake. And when you look at your friends again, the darkness in their eyes is gone. The whole place is coming down. We'll each have these symbols as half of a letter, so the answer must be a word. Any day now. These things take time. I'm not sure we have time. I should shout the password. Let's try something at least. Axiom! At your words, the symbols on the door glow for a moment before it swings open. How did you know that, Erica? I'll tell you later. Oh, I see now. All of you go charging through the door and everything shifts again, returning to the strange dream world. This time, filled with blue light instead of red. That was too close. What's life without a little danger, elf boy? But that's not how any of that went. No, it's not. But that means you remember how it did go. Case's gaze clears and he seems to really see you for the first time. You came for me in the Shadow Realm. You saved me. You were the whole reason I set out on this quest. There's nothing I wouldn't do for you, even if it meant searching both of the realms. Thank you, Erica, for everything. He gives you a gentle smile and then slowly fades away entirely. Suddenly, you feel weight land on your shoulder as Streep leaps up beside you. He nuzzles the side of your face affectionately. Thank you for releasing me from that crystal, Erica. And for keeping me so well fed. You've been such a good friend, Threep. Steadfast to the end. And beyond, yes, I know. And all Nespers are as loyal as you? I suppose they are, if I'm the last of them. His wings are still fluttering contentedly when he fades away just as Kay did. You glance back at the rest of your friends. Each of them smiles at you, even as their solid forms slowly begin to dissolve. Wait! Don't go yet! Nia. You reach out for Nia, taking her hand in yours and causing her form to grow solid again. Look at you. It's hard to believe you're still the same wide-eyed priestess I met back in Riverbend. I was pretty naive. But now you've seen the world and had a chance to change and grow. I have you thank for that. Her smile wavers for just a second, and you give her hand a squeeze. But I'm not sure what my future holds now. Without the temple, I mean. You get to make your own choices now. That seems scary, for sure. I won't lie. Only because it's new. You'll get to used to it. More quickly than you realized. I hope so. Nia's bright smile never fades, even as she drifts into nothingness. You reach for Mal, clasping his forearm and causing an image to grow more solid. We're a long way from the temple of Elara. Feel like it was yesterday. Back then, you were still just a rogue looking for treasure. Now you're a world-saving hero. Yeah, still hard to believe I had anything to do with that. Even as he smiles, he radiates nervousness and uncertainty. Emotions he finally gives voice as his face falls. But what does that mean? It means you will still be you. You'll still be snarky and difficult. I believe brilliant and devastatingly handsome. See, you haven't changed that much. Slowly, Mel begins to fade into darkness, like a candle burning out. Immatura. You hold out your hands to Immatura, who squeezes them gratefully, her body becoming solid once more. Funny how different my life would be if I hadn't met you the way I did, Land Rat. You attacked us. Just the one time. I suppose you more than made up for it, giving us a ride on the Wraith and helping us get the rest of the shards. I always thought I knew what my future held, that I had everything decided. Now, I'm not so sure what lies ahead. You still have to deal with your mother. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Choosing between princess and pirate? You will be. Someday. Someday. And who knows, maybe there's a solution you just haven't seen yet. She steps back and slowly begins to fade away until there's nothing left of her. Tyrell. You step over to Tyrell, who seems to grow more solid as you approach. So much of my life has been spent in pursuit of revenge. It's odd to think of what it'll be like without it. I'm sure Undermount is just dying to throw another masquerade. As much as I value the bonds one makes at a social gathering, I believe any revelry should wait. I prefer they spend their time more proactively for now. I don't know. We defeated a member of the Shadow Court at the last one. Seems pretty proactive to me. I don't know if I ever said thank you for helping me. I'm just glad I could be there with you through all of it, and that you were able to get closure with Kaya. So am I, even if the future is so wide open. Precisely. You could try relaxing. What does that word mean? You are teasing me. Yes. As you watch, his form begins to grow hazier and hazier until he disappears. Now alone, you spot an eerie glowing stone in the center of the circle where your friends once stood. It floats in the air, suspended. Grab it. It vibrates with power in your hand, shadows flickering within. Treasure required. You got the dream essence, like the darkness that surrounded my friends. The hooded figure appears before you. They reach out and press the tip of one finger gently to your forehead. It is time. For what? You feel your body lift, then the world falls away beneath you. To wake up. You find yourself in the castle gardens, passing tankers of ale around as the sun begins to set. It feels oddly familiar, like a memory. Not sponsored. A toast to beating the Dreadlord. To green things and fresh air. And sunshine. This is ridiculous. You may as well toast to the bees. Hey! 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 Y'all better make them fruits and vegetables. Help them plants pollinate. Agreed. To the bees. May they teach Tyrell to have a better attitude. What's that? Not another hole. His words fade to a gasp as a large swirling vortex opens right in front of you and the shoulders stream into the gardens. Get her! Your heightened senses tingle, a crackle of magic in the air. You managed to take cover just before a ball of rolling shadow hits the spot where you stood. Missed me! Erica, behind you! You turn away from the soldiers, another presence at your back. A voice, cold as ice, echoes around the garden. Enough. You wheeled around to see a tall woman stepping through the portal with a predatory grace. Who that? I mean, she got legs for days though. I ain't gonna lie. But she don't got my nails. Who are you? And falling to her feet is the hilt of the blade of light. Who are? She cuts you off, grabbing your shoulder, and you sway in place as your energy suddenly drains out of you. What are you doing to me? Erica! Get your hands off her! You barely hear your friends pass the roaring in your ears, and everything vanishes as you drag through the portal. Chapter 1, Through the Looking Glass. You jerk awake, your movements arrested by taut bindings around your wrists, ankles, and chest. What the? You're strapped to a stone table in a dark room. You can see the shadowy outlines of strange machines, odd knickknacks and metal cages, magic drums around you emanating from and reflecting off the obsidian walls. The darkness weighs on you in a very familiar way. No, it can't be. I'm back in the Shadow Realm. You struggle against the heavy straps binding you as a woman dressed in a guard's attire approaches. She grabs your arm roughly, her reptilian green skin modded in the darkness. You're finally awake. You feel a hard weight in your palm, somehow warm and cool at once. It must be that stone from my dream, but I don't have a clue what it is or how to use it. You close your fingers tightly and slip the stone into your clothes as subtly as you can with your arms still bound. Come, she wants to see you. She? The guard ignores you as she unstraps from the table, binds your hands in front of you, and hauls you out of the room. As you march down the hall, you hear a voice in your head, the same as the one you heard from the hooded figure in your dream. Erica, you must get out of here. Glancing around, you note that the guard's grip on your shoulder is a tad loose, and she lets out a heavy sigh as she marches down the hall. I would slam my heel on her toe. I'ma charm her. Yeah, let's earn some XP. Yes. You know, I'm already bound. You don't need to tire yourself out dragging me around. It's not like I can escape. What are you on about? Just that with my hands bound like this, I'm basically helpless. I can never be someone as strong and capable as you. The guard watches you for a moment before releasing her grip on your shoulder. Fine. Just keep pace with me. You walk alongside her for a few moments before breaking into a run down the hall. You race through the nearest door to make good your escape, only to find yourself a dreadfully familiar chamber crowded with armored soldiers. This is where we fought the Dreadlord. Soldiers watch as you sharpen their weapons and tend beasts and pens. The sight of it churns your stomach. Get back here! The guard rushes in behind you and taking advantage of your momentary lapse. She grabs you and grips painfully tight. As you march through the chamber, you think of the voice you heard before, the one that urged you to escape. Who are you and who are these people? These are the soldiers of the Ash Empire, an enemy far deadlier than any you've faced. Far deadlier. Far. 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 But what do they want with me? They wish to use you for their own means, for you are a realm walker. But I don't know what that is. What the f that is? I'm a no one. A nobody from Riverbend. You wielded the blade of light. It bestowed upon you abilities you have not yet begun to understand. But why are we here in the Shadows Course's fortress? Because they hope to hold the secret to crossing the barrier. The guard holding you captive marched you down another dark hallway into a stone room that holds a simple desk. Wait here, and if you value your life, you won't try anything. She slams the door behind her, leaving you alone in a small room. Okay, Erica, if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. Again and again. You search the room, looking for any possible exit or anything else that might help you win your freedom. As you search, your gaze lands upon a large soaked bowl on the desk. A stone tablet sits beside it that reads secrets of the Realm Walker. Tyrell called me that after we defeated the Dreadlord, and the voice said the same thing just now. Maybe this could give me some insight into whatever this Ash Empire wants with me. Okay. I got the diamonds for it. This is when you know you got the money. This is when you got the money. Like, back in those days, when I used to struggle with that VIP be helping you. Girl, get you some VIP. I'm not even sponsored. Get you some VIP. Get you those diamonds. Pay your bills on time, girl. Pay your bills on time and get those unlock those bonus scenes. Not sponsored. Basically, a realm walker is a very powerful person. Very powerful being that can shift time itself. So it's like, whoa. So anyway, the door slams open and a woman in armor steps into the room. The same woman who kidnapped you from the gardens in White Tower. I see you woken. You. The woman brushes past you, exuding power and magic in equal measure. For a moment, you're reminded of the ocean or a violent storm, beautiful and merciless. Who are you, and why have you kidnapped me? I am Princess Valex of the Ash Empire. She seems unmoved by your demands, as she chose to answer because it suits her purposes, not yours. I have been seeking you for a long time. Is that because you want revenge for the Shadow Court? I was strong enough to beat the Dreadlord. You need me to make a portal into the Light Realm. She pauses for a moment, looking almost taken back. She surveys you with narrow eyes, and you can't tell if she's angry or impressed. Perhaps you're smarter than you look. But yes, using you, I will open a large enough portal for our army to cross through. But you made your own portal before when you captured me. It took all of the energy left in the blade light to make the portal I used to reach you. That must be because I absorbed more of it when I killed the Dreadlord. She circles the desk, deep in thought. I spent so long experimenting, trying to find a way for anyone, not just realm walkers, to open a portal, and I've finally been successful. Soon, my mother, the Ash Empress, will achieve her dream of reclaiming the Light Realm as her own. The smile falls from her face, replaced instantly with wicked fury. And you will no longer be of any use to me. You know, I don't even want to charm her. I don't even want to charm a bitch. I don't even want to charm the bitch. I just like, I'll never help you. Like, bitch, I don't even know. You sit here talking like you're gonna be successful, bitch. Girl, bye. Even with your beliefs and shit. I'll never help you. If you think I'm just gonna go along with whatever plan you have, you don't have a choice. I don't really need you anyway. Just your blood. She snaps her fingers, and the guard from before comes in. Yes, princess. Restrain her. The guard abruptly seizes you by the shoulders. Valix picks up the bowl from her desk and grips your arm with shocking strength. What are you? Pain tears through you as she slices your wrist open with her fingernail, blood spilling from the wound. I would claim that I'm sorry, but that would be a lie. Your blood pours into the bowl, filling it with alarming speed. Just as your vision starts to go fuzzy, Valix conjures a flame in her hand and presses it to the wound, sealing it shut. This is enough to get our scouts into position, and once I have the rest of her blood... The rest? Who'll open enough portals to send the whole army through? Valix? Bitch, I'll stop you. I very much doubt that. If you think I'm just gonna stand by while you attack my home, you got another thing coming, boo. You'll be far too dead to interfere. She waves her hand dismissively at you and the guard. Take her to the cells. I want everyone assembled and ready before we spill every last drop. The guard hauls you off to a cell and shoves you inside, woozy from blood loss. You tumble to the cold stone floor. You can hardly hear the voice in your head when it returns. Erica, you must escape. Rise now, and I'll help you. How? My hands are tied. I'm locked in a cell, and I can barely keep my eyes open. You are a realm walker. You are not bound by the physical. You may not be able to open a portal here, as you are not at full strength, but I can help you escape your confinement. If you find a place where the barrier is weak, you can step through it. It takes all of your strength to climb to your feet. You grit your teeth as you hold yourself against the wall. Show me. Focus on the ropes around your wrists, on the bars in front of you. These are physical barriers that cannot hold you. Focus on the ropes around your wrist. Imagine yourself passing through them, like water through sand, free. Like water through sand. You concentrate on the rhythm of the words, on the imagery they invoke, and the ropes drops from your wrist onto the ground. God's above and below. You step forward, watching as your body seems to shimmer and grow transparent as you pass through the bars of the cell. Okay, I can phase through the solid objects. That's a thing I can do now. As you sneak down the narrow corridor that houses the cells, you come across a table on it. It's a heavy set of dark armor and several weapons that you never used before. I'll grab the chains and whips excitement. I'll get the Acamento set. It's time to like do what I need to do. As you pick up one of the weapons, a soldier rounds the corner. You there! Back away from the table! I should bind him. Lights out. He snatched up a smoke bomb from the bag and hurled it at his feet with a crash. Ugh! As the thick, dark smoke winds around him and skirts his vision, you whack him over the head. Hopefully that's the last of these guys I have to deal with. Look over to the armor still sits on the table, looking as though it would fit right alongside the soldier you just fought. If I wear a disguise, it'll be easy to get out of here. I might even be able to slip away unnoticed. Alright! Hell yeah! Over here giving Mystique! Ooh! Mystique and armor! You quickly tug on the shadow armor, which fits well, allowing for a surprise ease of movement. I need every advantage I can get. As you creep through the prison, the voice echoes through your head once more. Head for the central chamber. Securing your armor, you stride confidently toward the exit. The guard from before stands watch over the door, and she looks at you in confusion. I didn't think there was anyone else back there. Oh, I was called in to fix some of the broken cell doors. Don't want anyone escaping, right? Not on my watch, at least. Well, everything's fixed up now, so I'll be heading out. Though maybe I shouldn't leave you at my bag. Use a sword from the weapon stop. As you walk past it, you slip one from the wall. Don't you have your oh! Before she can finish, you lift the face. Wow. Slashing through a tiny vulnerability in her armor. I leveled up. Sorry about that. The guard hits the floor and you leap past her and rush out the exit. The disembodied voice returns as you make your way back to the familiar room. Head outside the fortress to where you enter the Shadow Realm for the first time. Why? The other weak spot in the barrier in this very chamber where you defeated the Dreadlord, but it is too well guarded. You stride out to the room, still doing your best to look relaxed and confident. None of the soldiers give you a second glance. This might be easier than I thought. A woman near the gate turns, and you catch a glimpse of a familiar profile. Or not. You glance around the room looking for a suitable distraction. A bow and a quiver lay abandoned against the wall, animals mill restlessly in a pen, and several soldiers march in formation towards the exit. Cause a stampede! All will take a loud noise behind them, and they all bow. You move casually behind the pen where a number of metal tools are propped against the side. Bumping one of them with your foot, they all conjure down with a loud clangs. Not horses. The nearest horse rears and seeing this panic. The rest of them are animals charge the fence, tearing it down in the process. What's going on? Stop gaping and catch them! While the soldiers rush to chase down the panicked animals, you slip out of the fortress unnoticed. Outside, there are no soldiers at all, but the massive fortress still looms behind you. The path seems to lead straight to where I first entered the Shadow Realm, but the Ash Empire must have guards keeping a lookout. I'll find another way around. You melt into the rocky terrain, using your skills to stay hidden and approach from the side. Glancing back at the fortress, you see two guards posted on the ramparts, but they don't seem to notice you. Works every time. You're only steps away from your goal when a blast of dark magic explodes next to you in a flash of suit and shadow. You look back and see Valix racing towards you. Damn it! Get back here! A swirling mass of shadow forms in Valix's hands as you finally reach the spot where you first came to the Shadow Realm. Remembering the voice's instructions, you picture yourself back in the White Tower throne room. Come on, come on. But nothing happens. You're not getting away! And Valix's footsteps echo like thunder behind you, and the panic rises as you search for the power you used after your fight with the Dreadlord. Anytime now. I focus on the colors of the throne room. You picture the beautiful purple curtains hanging in the windows and the bright red carpets leading up to the throne. The spark of Valix's magic is a whisper down your spine. She's so close you can almost feel her. Please! A strange sensation rushes through your body, like all the air being sucked from your lungs. A small portal, barely large enough to fit you, tears open. It crackles at the edges, like it may collapse at any second. Thank you! No! Felix's fingers graze your back as you throw yourself through the tear between the realms. The portal collapses behind you with a loud pop, slicing the tip of your butt clean off in the process. Oh, hells. You float through the strange space toward another equally small portal, a mirror of the first. As you do, you see the figure from your dream. I haven't heard this sound in a while, but as you stare, their cloak and hood shimmer and melt away, revealing the strange-looking figure. I am the Watcher. We will speak again soon. Your vision goes white as you stumble through the other portal and into the throne room, dizzy and spinning. Voices erupt into panic all around you as you collapse to the floor, wheezing. I need to see the king and his advisors. It's important. Erica? You turn to see Katie running toward you, looking different somehow. He reaches you, his hands shaking as he pulls you into a hug. It really is you! Katie, we need to gather everyone. I've been to the Shadow Realm and... You trail off as Cade grips your shoulders, shaking his head in disbelief as he stares at you. Why are you looking at me like that? Erica, you've been gone for a year.